Hi, welcome to day 4. Okay, we have a lot to cover today, but it all goes nicely together because it's a lot about the food. We are going to talk about how we meal plan for the week, or at least how I meal plan for the week and how I meal prep for the week. Also, we'll talk about grocery shopping, and along with grocery shopping is reading food labels, because you need to know how to read a food label when you're shopping, especially for pre-packaged type foods. And there's a little trick that I've followed for years, and I think it'll help you also. Also, we'll talk about pre-tracking your food and how that may be the trick that you need to be successful in logging food, because it can be somewhat of a drag. I'm all about putting the least amount of energy into proper nutrition as possible. And the key to this is making sure you have accessible items and foods that you love around you all the time. You've heard the term low-hanging fruit. That's used in business, and it's used just a lot in general. Basically, you go for what's easiest. That's just kind of our natural instinct, is to grab what's easiest. And let me tell you, when you're hungry, especially, that's when we are trying to find what's easiest. If you're starving and all you have available are goldfish crackers, a candy bar in the checkout aisle, fast food options, you may give in to that. I've done it before. I do it often. I hate to admit it, but when I'm set up for success, I do not. Also, with eating, nothing is off limits. Nothing is off limits. However, if you give 100% to this diet, it will pay off. If you give 80%, you're not going to get the full benefits of the program. Diet is everything. So let's get started. The meal plan. You guys, we have a meal plan for every week. But I want you to know that I don't actually want you following the meal plan day by day. This is for you to get ideas and try new things, and also give you recipes for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. But I want you to try to automate most of your meals and then just change things up for dinner. I promise it will serve you well that way, because when you take the decision making out of your life, you have more energy for other things. So today, or at least on the first week, you're going to see like a chicken skillet with vegetables. That's super easy, and a lot of easy type dinner meals. I have a vegetarian in our house. My daughter, she's 14 and she's a vegetarian. And one of the things that has helped me is HelloFresh. I'm not trying to like sell that on you, but I'm not going to be following the meal plan as much this week. But I do want to prep my snacks and my lunches as well as possible, because the less I have to think about myself this week, the more I can focus on my kids' meals or being with them, or just life. And the same for you. I want you, before you go to the grocery store, you should do an inventory of your fridge and your pantry. The key is to have as many things in your fridge that are accessible to you. So do you have foods like vegetables that you can grab easily? Some of my favorite meals are salads or bowls. I like to just throw a bunch of vegetables in a bowl, a bunch of protein in a bowl, maybe top it with cheese or Greek yogurt, or, obviously a salad is a salad dressing, something crunchy. You're always looking to have carbs, fat, and protein every single meal. So I always say you want about, your palm's worth of protein for every main meal, whatever you can fill into your hand as a carb for every meal, and then about your thumb's worth of fat. Now, if you want to get super technical about this, because a lot of times it'll say have 3 ounces of chicken. Do you know what 3 ounces of chicken is? You may need a food scale. It really depends on how precise you want to be. Now, I have been doing this so long that I can just look at chicken and know if it's 2 ounces or 5 ounces. Typically a chicken tender, you know how sometimes chicken comes in like little tenders, 1 tender is 1 ounce. So maybe that'll give you kind of a good idea to start. All right, well, that's it for now. So I'm gonna go through my fridge and I'm gonna see what I need, and then I'm gonna head to Trader Joe's, and I'm gonna take you to Trader Joe's with me. It is Thursday. Tonight we're having a HelloFresh meal. It's like a chickpea bowl, and I'm going to add chicken breast to it, so I know I need chicken breast tonight. And then it's summer, it's starting to feel warm, so I'm probably gonna prep some salads for the week. I love one sweet snack, and so sometimes I do a protein bar, but I also love the Martino Fit protein muffins, so I'll probably make a batch of protein muffins. And then breakfast, right now I'm on a roll with a yogurt, cottage cheese, and granola mixture. And it's just new and fresh, but for a while I was really loving an egg sandwich. So that's what you have to do as well. Decide what you want to eat next week and get it all ready to go. Okay, we'll keep this going here in a minute. See you soon. All right, everyone, I'm here. I'm at Trader Joe's, so let's get shopping. But here's something you need to know. It is what? It is 11 o'clock. I haven't had lunch. I'm hungry. I typically have a snack before I hit lunch. I hadn't. And you know what happens when you go shopping and you're hungry, don't you? Especially Trader Joe's, because Trader Joe's has all that good stuff. All those new things you haven't tried before, especially chocolate mixed with deliciousness. I keep these available all the time. It's just a protein shake. It's pre-made. And actually, if you don't have these and you are going to Trader Joe's has them. I've gone straight to that section, gotten a pre-made protein drink, and actually drank it while I was shopping. Anyway, this is going to keep you on track. It's chocolatey, so now I don't feel the need to go buy all the chocolate things at Trader Joe's. And I have something else to show you. Let me see if I can turn my camera around. This is my center console. It's also my emergency snack kit. I just got all these protein bars, and also there's some mixed nuts under there. I don't typically have it as stocked as I do now, because I literally just got those protein bars, which, by the way, they're called Built Bars, and they're the best I have ever tasted ever. They are pricey, so it's like you want to, first of all, hide them from your kids, and second of all, don't eat them all the time. Eat them when you need them. All right, on to Trader Joe's. I'm home from Trader Joe's. I wanted to show you my haul, and I also want to talk to you about how to read the labels, how to pre-track or pre-plan my meals, and some things I can do to meal prep for the week with the things that I got. So I love Trader Joe's, and I shop there weekly, and I feel like just by shopping there all the time, I kind of know what I need and what I want. I went there today without even a list, so I just thought I would talk to you about some of the things that I always get. Now, I'll always get like these salad kits. I almost never use the dressing. When you use the dressing, you sometimes don't know, one, how to track, because you don't know how much dressing you're actually getting. And the nutrition label makes it a little bit difficult. Also, a lot of the dressings that are put in these prepackaged salads aren't that healthy. They're loaded with fat. I got this dressing. Trader Joe's has a lot of options, but this one has only 4 grams of fat. In most dressings, you'll see upward of 12, 13, 14, up to 20 grams of fat. 2 carbs, 1 protein. Most dressings are primarily fat, so when you're building your salad, you need to maybe build your salad in a way that's going to reflect that you need some room for fat as your dressing. You can also do olive oil and vinegar. I love olive oil and vinegar. Also, olive oil is your fat. So already, I think it's important to understand, to know when you're looking at food, what is fat, what is protein, what is carbs. Now, like I said, I like the same things for most of my meals. For breakfast, I combine Greek yogurt with a little bit of cottage cheese, and I put some frozen fruit that's defrosted on it with a little bit of granola. I've already logged it, and I'll show you how I log that and have it easily accessible. The more you automate your food, you can log your food so much easier. It's like sometimes as easy as a swipe. You can swipe on your phone to just add what you ate yesterday. We keep these in our freezer. These are chicken tenders. It seems like an unhealthy food, but these are not. And this will be a great example for me to teach you how to read food labels. In one piece, there's 130 calories. There are 4 grams of fat and 11 carbs, 12 protein. I always try to look, when I'm looking at something that I might eat by itself, I try to find carbs and protein about equal amounts. And then I look at the fat, because if the fat is greater than the carb or the protein, it's probably not an item I'm just gonna eat on its own. I typically want the fat amount to be about half of the carbs and protein. Fat has twice as much calories per gram than carbs and protein. So you want to make sure the actual number of grams is half the amount of the carbs and protein. This is something that would be great, since it's lower in fat, high in protein, to chop up and add it to a salad. Maybe add a little bit of dressing and all the fixings. Vegetables, I don't typically count. I just kind of chop them off. I do log them, but when I'm planning my meals, I don't think too much about how much that's going to add to my overall diet, because the green leafy type things aren't going to add much. Now, Trader Joe's has some items like this, or they have regular pasta, but then they have this yellow lentil brown rice pasta. What's awesome is that this is going to be lower in carbohydrates. It's going to help you stay macro balanced, because a big bowl of spaghetti is going to be super high in carbs. But something like this has 14 grams of protein. It has 32 carbs still, but if you add like a meat sauce to it, then you're probably looking at more of a balanced meal. However, hearts of palm. This is a spaghetti type pasta substitute, and I love the texture. Again, I got these at Trader Joe's. No fat, 4 grams of carbs, no protein, but we're talking a low, super low, 20 calories in a serving, low calorie option, and then you can load it up with sauce and protein for dinner. Turkey meatballs. I have a recipe for something like turkey meatballs. But this is just as good. In fact, I think it's super tasty. 100 calories, 5 grams of fat, 5 carbs, 12 protein. So lower in carbs and high in protein option. Of course, what is Trader Joe's without everything but the bagel? My daughter's vegetarian. Some of you are vegetarian. This is Impossible meat. This has 14 grams of fat. It's higher in fat. It also has 20 grams of protein. So this is something where you're gonna have to probably decrease your fat in other areas of your day. Eat this, and it's delicious. Like this is, I would eat this. Of course, I go for lean ground beef because it's a little bit leaner than this, but this is a great option for you vegetarians. Should we talk about chocolate? Well, like, where does chocolate live in this program? Chocolate by nature is more fat and carbs. In fact, most delicious things are fat and carbs. Now, I love these cat cookies because they are actually really low in fat. They are high in carbs, but a little goes a long way. The serving size is 15 cookies, but sometimes on Greek yogurt, which is primarily protein, you can put some carbohydrates and keep the fat down. Maybe even if you have fat in your diet, you could add a little peanut swirl, and it could be delicious. So I'm gonna also share some other finds at Trader Joe's, and we'll walk you through how to read a nutrition label. And then let's go through and I'll show you some MyFitnessPal hacks as well to make logging your food a little bit easier. It's not hard, it's just not hard. But the less energy, the better off. All right, so we talked about grocery shopping. Let's talk about reward meals and then touch on pre-tracking one more time. Reward meals is for the first 8 weeks. You get one meal where you don't need to log your food. In fact, if you want nachos and a Coca-Cola or a beer, have it. The only requirement with reward meals is that, well, you have to put some boundaries on it. So sometimes I think about like when you go to like a barbecue and there's a buffet, it's not the kind of thing where you can be like grazing all night. It's like fill up your plate with all the things that you just love and are so delicious and you would consider them more off limits, or maybe you just don't have the time and energy to log that food. Fill up your plate, eat it, throw your plate away, be satisfied with that, and then move right on. It's a reward. You did nothing wrong. You did not fall off the wagon. You're back at it right then and there. have a water, be proud of yourself, keep the momentum, and that's that. All right, I'm gonna switch this video over to my screen so that I can show you logging food.